Welcome to our channel, Learn with Siraj. Hello, this is Siraj.
Emotive language. I felt sick to my stomach. I felt shock. I felt a great emptiness within me, which then filled with silence. In Ian Martel's award-winning novel, Life of Pi, the writer makes his character pulsate with life by using emotive phrases and a turbulent situation to become flesh and blood in the reader's imagination. So words like shock and great emptiness really does make the character pulsate with life, and it really evokes the imagination of the reader, making it as though it's all real, it's all flesh and blood, it's real. What is emotive language? Emotive language is the term used when certain word choices are made by writers to evoke an emotional response. So these word choices evoke an emotional response. The choice of words such as appalling, love, betrayed, and angrily evoke an emotional reaction from the reader. So it can evoke an emotional response, evoke an emotional reaction. Whilst many emotional words are adjectives, emotional words can also be nouns, verbs and adverbs, and these can be emotive too. Let's look at some examples of emotive words of varying word classes. Let's look at adjectives first. Appalling. How does that make you react? Wonderful. How does that make you react? Magical. What emotional response do you get when you listen to the word magical? And tragic. What's the impact on you as a reader when you listen to the word tragic? Abstract nouns are nouns that you can't touch. You can touch a chair, which is a noun, but you can't touch freedom. You can't touch pride. You can't touch justice. But when you read the word freedom, what does it evoke for you? What type of reaction is pulsated? What about when you listen to the word and read the word pride, justice, love and terror? What are the emotions? What are the feelings you feel? What about these verbs? Destroyed, vindicated, saved, betrayed and adored. These verbs, how do they make you respond? How does it evoke your imagination? Notice how these words make the heart rush. So to create particular feelings of, they can be disgust, they can be surprise, satisfaction, love, pride, amusement, embarrassment, contempt, envy, interest, calmness, relief, admiration, anger, sadness, fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, depression, boredom, loneliness, disappointment. These words have an emotional impact on their audience. They have an emotional reaction. They have an emotional response. Why do writers use emotive language? Emotive language in a news or magazine article often aim to persuade the reader to share the writer's opinion or viewpoint on a particular topic. So in a news article, in a magazine article, the writer will specifically choose certain words in order to persuade the reader to share a viewpoint, an opinion on a topic. Writers use emotive language in a novel to create an iconic fan favorite character so as to increase the likability, because readers may empathize with them and side and favor a particular character over another character. In this way, writers intentionally stimulate an emotional response specific to a desired intention of perhaps disliking a character. So writers use emotive language. Writers will use words and phrases. Writers will use characters and associate particular phrases and words so that they create either likability or dislike a character. If you like the character, they'll most likely be able to relate to you, and you'll be able to empathize and therefore take the side of that character. And a writer will deliberately choose words, emotive words and phrases, so that you dislike a character. In addition, in poems, emotive language can elicit both positive and negative emotions towards an idea. So you have emotive language which creates positive or negative emotions. They create a particular response, a particular reaction, a particular impact on the reader, which can be both positive or negative in feeling. Where might writers use emotive language? Let's now explore where writers might use emotive language. Emotive language can be used in speeches, debates, everyday conversation. In these forms of writing and in speeches, it creates a dynamic, heart-racing and engaging experience, so the audience is energized and persuaded to agree with. So think about Martin Luther King, his speech. It was so dynamic, it was so heart-racing, and it was such an engaging experience that the audience was energized, and the audience was also persuaded to agree with Martin Luther King. Emotive language used as a technique in novels, poetry, short stories can also be used in non-fiction writing such as biographies, newspaper articles as mentioned, opinion pieces and personal blogs. So to really get the emotions aroused, the emotions evoked, we want to use a range of emotive language words and phrases to really bring the writing to life. And writers deliberately do so in order to have a particular intended purpose, intended impact, intended effect, so that basically the writer is then influencing, persuading the reader in a way that they choose. So it's all intended. In short, remember, emotive language has an intended purpose for impacting the reader.
Why not call us on 01924 50 60 10 or WhatsApp us on 0795 1918 152.